Hi, it's Mary. I hope that you are all doing well. So today we are going to do some kitchen chemistry, actual kitchen chemistry. And by that, I mean not only will we be creating with things that you find in your kitchen, we're going to make food. And because it is so near to Thanksgiving in the United States, I thought we'd make a cranberry sauce or cranberry spread. So usually when people make jellies or jams, they add a thickener like pectin. But cranberries are high naturally in pectin, so we're not going to need a thickener. So it's a basic recipe with very few ingredients. You'll need a heat source, so if you're a youngster, you'll want to get some help with this one. So we're going to need cranberries, sugar, and the amount you add can vary. It's the combination of the sugar and the pectin in the cranberries that are going to thicken the spread. So I've seen recipes that call for a cup of sugar. I like to use a little less, so I'll probably use about 3/4 of a cup. Water, you're going to want about 4 ounces. You can use lemon juice or orange juice. If you find that your spread is too sweet, you can add a little lemon juice. If you find it's too sour for you and you would like it sweeter, you can add a little orange juice. You'll need a saucepan to make your cranberry sauce in and a heat source. I've got a heating element. You can also use a stove if that's what you have in your house. You'll need measuring cup for liquid measure, measuring cups for dry measure, and a bowl. My cranberries are in the pan. I'm adding the 4 ounces of water, and I'm going to start by adding a 1/2 cup of sugar. I've turned the heat up, and I'm going to start making it. I've also got a wooden spoon for stirring. I'm going to turn that around. We want the sugar to dissolve, so I'm going to keep stirring until that happens. What will happen is it'll get to a point where all the sugar is dissolved, and then the cranberries will start popping. There's still sugar in the bottom. Cranberries are still full. They're not popping yet, so we're going to keep heating. Okay, so it seems like the sugar is all melted. Now we're just waiting for the cranberries to pop. So this is kind of a fun part. You can see some of the cranberries are getting lines in them. They're starting to pop. You can see the water is boiling. If you listen carefully, you can hear some of the cranberries popping. So now you get to decide, as your cranberries are popping, how thick you want this to be. So the thickness of your sauce is going to depend on how long you allow the cranberries to keep going. So I always let them go, to get them to be a sauce, you're going to want to let them go until they are all popping. But you can also let them go a little longer than that till they get thicker. And this all happens pretty quickly. You can see that they are less solid than they were. The water is boiling more. In fact, I'm going to turn it down just a little. And a lot more of the cranberries are popping. And while at this point it's still pretty watery, it's going to get more syrupy. And you want to, I always use a longer handled spoon, wooden spoon, so that when they're bursting, they don't pop on me. But I also keep stirring so it doesn't burn. Because things with sugar can burn easily. So I am still stirring. Turning that heat down a little lower still. And it is getting thicker. So you can do a test where you take a spoon and you dip it in and you see if it sticks to the back of the spoon, then you're getting a pretty good sauce. Now, just as a reminder, this is a really hot mixture. Even though I want to lick this, I'm not going to because it's really hot. So I'm going to let it cool a little, then I'll get the gauge on the flavors and see if I need to add any orange juice or lemon juice to adjust the flavor. So I just tasted it and it is a little too tart for me even, so I'm going to add a little more sugar. Get that stirred. It's getting very much thicker. Most of the cranberries are popped. I'm going to stir for a couple more minutes just to get rid of some more of the moisture, and then we'll take it off the heat. Again, I'm going to taste it. I'm going to let it cool before I do that. I like the sweetness on that much better now. I do like the flavor of the orange as a counterpoint in there, so I think I'm going to add a little orange juice, but not very much. And that is what my cranberry sauce looks like. It's very much thicker than it was before. I think we'll turn that off and we'll plate some up. So an aspect of cooking that I really like is you can do whatever you want with what you've made. I'm going to put a little bit in this ramekin. So you can take a look at what it looks like. And I'm ready for a taste. It's really good. Like I said, I like mine tart. That is tart. If you would like yours sweeter, I would use the whole cup of sugar. Or if you wanted to add a bit of a flavor change, you could add half cup sugar, half cup of honey. But let's first talk about what made that reaction work. So earlier I said that cranberries are high in pectin, and they are. And so when you add the combination of the cranberries and the sugar, the pectin that's usually in a long chain will form more of a web. And then in that web, it kind of traps the sugar in between the pectin molecules. And as you heat it, it thickens. I hope that you've enjoyed using chemistry to create cranberry jam, jelly, or spread. And we'll be back again with another fun adventure in STEM. Thank you.